And I hope you don't mind that my penis is out. 'Cause when I said I would Donald Duck, I didn't mean a mascot costume.
Sean, we can't start every single song or every single episode with a song.
My favorite part is that you weren't recording, so I went back and did it twice.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. We'll
Double
be good.
down.
Because I have a story. I saw a ghost of a cat.
You saw a ghost of a cat this week on Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling?
The least listened to Marshland Media podcast.
I wasn't going to include that in the introduction, but true.
I think if we start hammering that over the head of people, they'll be like, all right, we need to make sure this is the most listened to. And really, that only means, I don't know, 50 people every single week.
Which is feasible. I feel like I have been hammering it every time I make appearances on other Marshland shows. Not to get more people to listen, but just to state my existence.
Yeah.
Just as a flag in the face of nihilistic ennui, you know?
On the Wii?
On the Wii, baby. Can we play?
Oh, my
I go
God.
some bowling?
Medical examiner game, Chibi Robo on the Wii. Kirby's Air Ride, but played on the Wii.
Hell yeah. Freaking WarioWare.
On the Wii.
On that, yep. Fucking EA Sports titles.
It's in the game.
On the Wii.
Oh, yeah, it's in the Wii.
So you saw a cat that was a ghost?
Okay, yeah, so I was on my morning walk, as most of my stories start out as.
Oh, also real quick, and this is the podcast where we watch Lucha Underground and we talk about it, and we also talk about ghost cats. You were on your morning walk.
Yes, and also, it's not just Lucha Underground. Once we're done with that, we'll go to others.
I said we were also talking about ghost cats, so they know.
Well, Ghost Cats isn't, I mean, there, I think, might be a Santo movie entitled Santo versus the Eyes of the Ghost Cat.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and I hear, I don't know, I just want to go to like deep in Philly and go like this, the indiest of indie shows, and there's a death match, and it's like, I don't know, Nick fucking Gage versus a ghost cat. Nick fucking Gage, Nick fucking Gage, Nick fucking Gage, MDK.
Nick Gage is gonna lose to that ghost cat.
Yo, you crazy. That's the king, man. Trans rights, bitch.
Nick Gage is gonna be like,
Gage. Nick fucking Gage.
He's gonna immediately start crossing his eyes like, oh, ghosts give blowjobs, right? And then he's gonna
Wait, what? Oh, okay.
Take out a razor blade and be like, hey, anyone want to be cut even though you're not trained to do it?
He's literally the nicest fucking guy in the world.
He's not. Oh, man, David Arquette, I'm going to show you how hardcore we are. I'm an edgelord. Suck my nuts.
Literally,
and they're bloody, too.
Everyone in the industry who has ever run into him has said he's wonderful, he's kind, he's incredibly progressive. He's not afraid to put trans rights on his back when people ask him to. He is the nicest fucking guy in the world.
It doesn't mean he can't be an edgelord. So he...
Okay.
No one showed Nick Gage the Pain Olympics because he will say, I'll show you. I'll cut off my nuts and my dick and shove them inside of me.
All right, then. Why don't you talk about your ghost cat story, you piece of trash?
So I'm walking and I see a cat.
Will not stand for Nick Gage slander.
I'm walking. I see a cat. See how I stopped talking as soon as Sean started talking? Sean needs to start doing that for me.
James needs to start respecting the king.
You're not the king.
Nick fucking Gage. No, Nick fucking Gage.
You, king of what?
Nick fucking Gage.
Shit?
Nick fucking Gage. Nick fucking Gage. Yeah, baby.
I'm the king of being an asshole.
He's like the nicest guy.
No, not in the ring and not to David Arquette.
Oh, okay. David Arquette.
All right, there we go. Give
Fuck
respect.
David Arquette.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
All right, cool.
See, that's how we do it.
We are very, asshole. We are like very at each other's throats today.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because
I blame David Arquette.
No, I blame you having such a supple neck.
So there was a cat you saw on a walk.
Yes. And I'm like, okay, I'm walking. I see this cat. It goes a little bit near a bush. You know, like how Michael Myers did it? He's near poking out of a hedge, and then when you walk, oh my God, where'd he go? I do the same thing, and nothing's there. There's no cat. I look down the alleyway, nothing. This cat disappeared. I think it's a ghost of a cat, which also made me think, Michael Myers, spoiler alert for Curse of Michael Myers, is in a druid cult, the Thorn. And in Dungeons and Dragons, there's Tree Walkers, which is a druid spell where you can go into a tree and go into another one. Michael Myers might be a druid master, and he didn't just disappear. He literally disappeared from these trees. I think he tree walked into that hedge and out into another one.
So the druid cult. Wait, is that like I've not kept up with the new Halloween movies.
This isn't new. This is Paul Rudd's first movie.
Paul Rudd wasn't in Halloween?
Yeah, Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers.
Oh, word. They brought in I didn't realize he was like a druid.
Yeah, the people are going to be very pissed of like, James, they aren't. Stop it. The Thorn trilogy sucked.
Still canon.
I mean, it's canon for that. It's no longer canon now because the new ones just went Halloween 1 to Halloween 2018.
That's fair. And we're going 18 plus as we delve into this fucking wild ass fire that is the temple of Lucha Underground. Shit's getting crazy, and I can't wait to unearth this episode.
But what's crazier, Sean, is the Hugginator is taking the world by storm.
This
Nicole's
is not
into it. Everyone is into this goddamn Hugginator thing, okay?
This is not the transition I was setting up for.
It's picking up traction. Nicole is so into it. Have you seen?
You have notes? Hold on. You have notes on this?
Yeah,
I saw you
Nicole wanted me to let everyone know. You've seen the Dino Cats, and if you've seen them in store or they're shipped to you, they look like little Dino Cats. They're molded by hand, porn by Nicole's milky whiteness and her skin.
Very adorable, very good. Shouts out, darling homebody.
And the background of these mini boxes are a prehistoric setting, volcano, all of that. Well, Nicole is officially making DinoDogs, and they will be shipped in these adorable super kawaii versions of the Dominator.
Dominator or Hugginator? Because these are two very different products.
This is a triple D, just like my titty size.
Okay, then.
The Dino Doggo Dominator, because we're also tired of Doggo. Stop saying it. So we're going to...
You're selling it!
We're going to squish these little guys, but it'll be tight. Actually, it's actually good for shipping. Tightly packed so it doesn't move around. Not gonna break.
Well, shouts out to our local mailmen. They're doing their damnedest. But I do not support this Dominator agenda. Hugginator, I think, is fine. And if you're wondering what a Dominator is, it is a cage that gets smaller and smaller slowly to crush whatever is inside of the cage.
No, it does not crush. It gives your dog a sense of fear as they should have.
Yes, it waterboards them, but instead of simulated drowning, it is simulated crushing.
But it never crushes them. As long as you hook the leg, it's a safety mechanism, so they stay in the same center of the room. And there's like clips that you put on to be like, my dog is this size, and it will only squeeze down to that far. But the dog's like they should.
Like, yeah, okay, mental torture for the dog inside of a small cage. Not on board with this still.
Dogs have it too good.
They don't.
Oh, okay. Like, my dog's my grandpuppy. Oh, shut up, Mom.
Yo, oh my gosh. Put your mother in a Dominator and get fucked. You ass. Oh, all right then.
I'm fine with that.
But then leave the dogs out. Stop mentally torturing dogs.
Oh my God. It's a Dominator the size of pet and its owner, specifically a dog, and then it crushes simulation, both of them.
It is a machine designed to mentally torture dogs.
Yeah.
Why is it so controversial for me to be against the mental torture of dogs?
Oh, and you want to know, on the other side of the wall, like a dog treat will be there. They'll never be able to get at it.
This is not okay. This is not a good product.
We'll put it in like a box that has holes in it so the whiff. Oh, and then a fan on the other side so it whiffs right into them. They smell it, get closer. They try to chomp at it. They're just chomping at bits.
Oh my gosh. There somewhere the ghost of Del Close is like, Goose, why don't you yes and this bit? What's wrong with you? Why are you such a shitty improviser? I don't know why I'm a shitty improviser.
No, you've been
but
yes
I'm against
this
bit. No, I will not yes and this bit.
No,
I will not yes and this machine.
You're saying, yes, this concept is correct, and this is how I feel about it.
I guess. I don't know. Del Close can suck a mean one.
You love Del Close's truth in comedy.
Yo, I'll fucking throw him in the Weapon X Blood Owl. Big Cage style.
Oh, man. And cages, you want to know what? They've been around forever. Archaeologists have unearthed them from the underground.
Oh, shit.
Guys, we are continuing our December celebration of my favorite rap group from Coldwater, Michigan, Syndicate Records, a.k.a. Coldwater's finest. Jonathan, did you listen to any of this album before I continue?
Jameson, I did.
Okay, hell yes.
I listened to this album. Yeah.
The album or the year is 2005, Sean. I hear word that L.BO and GPG have finished not only their first collabo project, but also their first fully self-produced album, and it's called The Art of Fact. Now, I preached of Christmas time merriment last episode when it comes to hearing these albums for the first time. But this is different, even though it went into heavy rotation during the following school time winter breaks throughout the years. I got Artifact during this summer of 2005 when my parents bought a boat on the cheap. It could be, this is speculation, but I'm pretty sure this is how we got possession of this big boat. It was a situation where my father's business partner was going through a divorce, and in classic old school man fashion, he said, "The ex-bitch ain't getting shit."
Sure.
So this boat with a sizable cabin came to us full time, and a big-ass big screen TV came to us part-time. We had the TV on loan for maybe half a year until the divorce was finalized. Then it went back to its rightful owner, according to the patriarchy.
Was that the ungrateful bitch?
No, this is the man. Like, this dude gave off, like, Tim the Toolman Taylor vibes if all of a sudden he was going through a divorce. Yeah, he was constantly...
So, Tim the Toolman Taylor.
You want to know what? Put him in a Dominator. He always is being a dog.
Oh, gosh, now I'm torn because I don't think I want to be pro-torture, period. But I hate Tim the Toolman Taylor. Oh, wait, no, I meant... So who got the TV in the end?
The man did.
Okay, good.
He said, "Oh, I sold it," or "Oh, I gave it to someone," to the wife he was going through a divorce with. Yeah. But in reality, he just gave it to us to keep in our living room and consume. This was our first time ever having picture-in-picture. So what we would do was play Need for Speed Underground while watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It was a glorious summer.
Nifty. All the while, you were essentially this man's Swiss bank account.
Yeah.
Big untraced build styles. While you speed through those streets, big Aqua Teen style. And this is... Wait, I forgot. What does this have to do with the album again?
Okay, this summer would be the summer between 7th and 8th grade. Some peak depression times for your old boy James without knowing that that's what it was. It was undiagnosed, but the following year it would be. So,
yay!
When my parents decided to have a weekend trip out on Lake Michigan, this was the summer, just sleeping overnight in this boat, all I did was feel miserable with the only respite being the Artifact on repeat. Just constantly. I was depressed, saying, "Oh, I'm sad," and just repeat this 10 or 11 track album over and over again.
Nice.
Not talking to my family.
Not the depression part, but the respite and the finding a positive outlet.
Teenage depression's pretty cool, man.
Well, okay.
It builds character,
Okay.
baby. I wouldn't be funny if I weren't a depressive, bro.
Literally my least favorite take.
I wouldn't have cool things to talk about like, hey, remember New Year's Eve when I was 15 years old? I had the knife up against my wrist, but I didn't want to do that to my father because he was gone for the weekend and man, he would have come back not only to me dead, but a bloated corpse of his son.
That's not a good icebreaker. I don't know how many times I can put that out there.
Whoa, the icebreaker? That's how I should have been a bloated corpse instead. I wouldn't be all moldy and stuff. I would have been preserved. I should have went out to the Lake Michigan and dunked on in there.
Okay.
Man, Sean, where were you in 2007?
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Where was I? This album was revolutionary, being the first self-produced album from the crew, meaning they made all the beats themselves and ended up shaping the direction of their future releases. Plus, I only managed to get a single friend of mine into Coldwater's Finest. His name was Tyler, but not that Tyler or not that Tyler, who I gave my original copy of Artifact 2, which means for years, I only had a ripped low bitrate Windows Media Audio version, which sounded terrible quality-wise. It sounded bit crushed. It was not good until, Jonathan, last week when L.BO and GPG personally sent me high-res files.
Yeah.
Oh, I should also say, like, I'm friends with these dudes now, as it is with most of my, like, obsessions when it comes to underground rap music, and I joke, hey, guess I should have been a little more into Ludacris.
Do you think you could wait? Are you suggesting you should be friends with Ludacris by now?
No, I was saying, like, if I was even
should.
more like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with Ludacris, even though for a little bit I listened to word of mouth over and over again. But if I was like only as like hardcore into Ludacris as I was these individuals or Kill Yourself Productions, hey, you want to know? Maybe Ludacris and I would have been friends.
Oh man, I bet you and Ludacris would have a good time.
Oh yeah,
I bet Ludacris plays Need for Speed.
Oh, I for sure did.
Oh yeah. All right, Ludacris, get on this podcast. We'll talk about Need for Speed and your finisher from the first Def Jam game.
Hell yeah. Okay,
That was
so
cool.
I love this album. It's a masterpiece, and I'll put Xylo Hydro in after this segment so everyone can hear it. I think that's the best one on the album. And the album in full will be on the Discord.
I know, I really liked Kaleidoscope. I thought it was such a, I don't know, gave me a real good feel. Maybe I needed like a feel good like tune ski, and like especially the back half of this album was just like, oh nice. Like I don't know, oh nice. That's the vibe I got.
I think because I'm so into hardcore rap music, I was like, man, the first half just is so fucking good. I'm afraid what Sean's gonna think of the back half.
See, and because I like hardcore just in general, hip hop, punk, porn. Yeah, I was getting there. I was getting there. All right.
There's a delay.
But I was thinking, like, I don't know. I think I just kind of needed like what other tracks? Kaleidoscope. Oh my gosh, the beginning of the end. Is that the name of the last track?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For whatever reason, that's just like what I needed at the time. So it was nice to get. Yeah.
Kaleidoscope was my favorite song on the album when I was a teenager, but now as someone who doesn't look too fondly on my teenage experience, like life began in 2013 when I met Nicole. So, and when I was like getting real good at rapping.
Yay.
Also when I was done in that relationship with my ex bitch. No, I'm kidding.
Yo, make sure you don't let her get the boat. Give me a boat so she can't take nothing.
Well, good thing I didn't buy a Tempur-Pedic when we were together, because I would have had to be like, well, I guess I need this Tempur-Pedic.
Yeah, you would have to give me the Tempur-Pedic so she doesn't get into the breakup. But I fuck mattresses, and you don't want to give me a Tempur. I'll tell you right now, you don't want to give me a Tempur-Pedic.
I used to just hump the mattress. That's how I would masturbate as a teen up until way too late in my life.
Honestly, it's not Like, if you can actually sort it all out as far as masturbation goes, it's a better workout than just your arm.
Oh, no.
It's not a better session, but it's a better workout.
My ass as a teenager I had no muscle on my body besides my ass. And in retrospect, I realized, that's because I was laying face down on my bed, humping my mattress, just rubbing my little peen on it.
Oh, man. I don't claim to see the future. But the fact that I can see in this episode description on Twitter is going to be James and Sean talk about humping a mattress. I don't know how I feel about that.
Harmony Korine, you can finally make the sequel to Trash Humpers. It's Mattress Humper starring these two fools.
Yeah. James, what else you want? What else you want to like people to really take away from this album?
It's hardcore. It's revolutionary. It's de-evolutionary. X style. Guys, please listen to Piss Miss. It's coming out Thursday. Sean, I was
Crash Fire.
At 6 a.m. I was just so pissed the following day having to edit the files. It took me 2 hours just to treat the files before starting to edit. So then I was like, you want to know what? At least when people talk, it'll sound fine. But I am going through and just doing the quickest edit ever. So it probably took 2 hours to edit after the 2 hours, but it'll sound fine, people, but it's not the tight edit you're used to. There were 5 people just screaming in a room.
Yeah, you probably don't want to invite me on podcasts anymore if you're listening to this. Invite James. He's a wonderful guest. If I can't see my levels, though, I'm gonna scream the DX theme song.
Well, no, it's
gonna be a problem.
Even if the microphone was turned down and you weren't peaking, you were still screaming the DX while other people were talking. That was the issue.
Because that was more important.
No, it wasn't, and you were making us drink.
It was, and you should stay hydrated and not pee. How do you think I win Pissmas? Pissmas, by the way, if you're wondering, is a competition as well as a holiday. And that's how I win. I play the offensive, you know?
I've never thought of Pissmas as it actually is, which is a competition.
As well as a holiday. It's both.
But do you want to get into this goddamn episode?
I would love to get into episode. Oh my gosh, I did write that down, the title. Episode 13 of season 1 of Lucha Underground, Johnny Mundo versus The Machine. Before we started off, James, early takeaways from the episode.
This one was dope. We had, I think, 4 matches. The first 4 being like tight, very well, just action-packed. Then the 4th one, at first I hated, but then I was like, oh no, this fucking rocks.
Yeah, 4, I like it. And because you messaged me, it's like a lot of lore in this episode, which is true. A lot of stories, a lot of characters move forward. But in addition, some of the best, like, just straight up wrestling. I think this was, I had a very fun time watching these matches. And even the quick little recap. If you missed last week's episode, just so you know, Johnny chokes Cueto, Matanza, and Brian Cage kicks dicks to sad music. The dark match this week would have been a 3-on-2 handicap match. The Crew, Bale, Cortez Castro, and Mr. Cisco losing to Hernandez and Jeff Cobb, which is very interesting for reasons we won't get into in this episode, probably.
Okay.
But we start off, Mariachi El Bronx is the house band today, and they play us into the temple.
Oh, and then we have 2 sexy people in the ring.
Big fit update, too, on commentary. No more gray hoodie, which is all I was asking for. Striker with the leather blazer, which I was struggling so hard. I know I've seen leather blazers. Like, it's not just a leather jacket. It's not a blazer. It is a leather blazer. And I think I've seen my dad in stuff like this, but that's not a very popular reference because not everyone here knows who my dad is.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I like this look on Striker, as well as Vampiro's jacket. I loved it. I just loved Vampiro's jacket. He had a good jacket.
Sean, can Can I say a slightly fucked up joke?
Are you going to talk about my dad?
Maybe.
Nope.
Okay,
nope.
dang
then
it.
Nope.
It's
if you
a
have
good
to ask,
turn of
if you
phrase.
have to ask, all right. If it's a turn of phrase, is there any way you could turn the phrase about your dad? Your dad.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, my dad died last night.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
So he would always wear a Cub Scout, bright orange shirt. It had the Cub Scouts just printed right on it. But that's not an experience you can experience right now. It's currently out of print experience. It's an out of print look.
Okay.
I was going to say your dad's.
Yeah. All
you
right.
can't experience it or you can't see this. It's out of print.
I have never been happier to shut something down in my life.
Well, it would have been easier if I just said oh yeah, that can't see your dad's look because it's out of print.
Yeah, I know, and then I would have cried because I miss him every day.
Oh my God!
Vampiro's
Hold
very
on.
excited. Oh, why
Sean,
are we still doing this?
Let's put your dad's look back in print. Do you still own your dad's clothes?
Probably not as many as I'd like to.
Okay, well, go to your stepmother, go rummage through while you're in Buffalo this Christmas time, and just start Instagramming this was my dad, and do like the first is you, and then, or maybe the first is your dad. Who's more handsome, your dad or you?
I don't feel comfortable talking about this anymore.
Okay, all right. Well, hey,
thank you.
It's what I want to start doing with Karen Foster's outfits. From Step by Step, I do want to start once my hair is long enough.
Wait, is Karen Foster no longer alive?
No, I just want to
okay.
Technically, we don't know. In storyline, she could have died, but
is the actor still alive?
Yeah, the actress is still alive. Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to start doing.
I got so scared.
Hey, here's her in this episode, and then I will try to mimic not only her hair but also her outfits.
Karen was the older blonde sister, correct?
No, that's Dana.
Oh, see, Dana was my fit with all the ripped jeans and the flannel. I was a big Dana guy.
Oh,
What are you talking
about?
No.
Hold on. Dana's hair in season 2 was fucking amazing. However, because that's 1991 to 92, while I'm watching this, I am seeing 80s hair fashion go out of phase and into 90s. And 90s hair fucking sucked. It was just flat, a little bit of a bob curve to it, and that's it. It's disgusting.
I don't know. I mean, the Aniston comes through, and that becomes a big deal.
Ugh.
I feel like the Aniston is a good look. I'm trying to think real 90s hair. Something like Hackers, Angelina Jolie Hackers, but everything about Angelina Jolie and Hackers is fucking phenomenal. Is just whoever costume designed Hackers, they need more Oscars because they fucking crushed it.
Hell yeah, give it to him, baby. Ow, ow,
Absolutely. Just like Hernandez and Jeff Cobb gave it to the crew. And Vampiro is giving us Vampiro is so excited in his recap of last week, and I just want something about Vampiro. I know he might not be the nicest guy in the world. I never met him personally. I don't know, but he's just so sweet when he's talking about how much violence happened last week. He's just he's like a child at Christmas, but the present is filled with blood.
I will say that I watched this in our living room opposed to on the computer because one, I woke up late, meaning I woke up at 8 a.m. instead of 5:30 a.m. and Nicole woke up at noon. So I was just like, I guess I'm going to watch it. So I didn't have headphones on. And I think this is actually, if I want to enjoy it more, watch it without headphones on because I was able to eliminate these two fuckers talking and being like, hey, you think women are sexy? I think women are sexy. I want to fuck them.
Well, don't worry, listeners. I watch the episodes with headphones, so I've got all your women are sexy notes right here. Grabs my nuts.
There is one very stupid yet funny thing I think Vampiro said later, but we'll get into that.
All right, you ready for this first match?
Jam!
Son of Havoc with Evilise versus my man Angelico. before we break down, any sort of like initial like thoughts on this?
Oh man. Well, Evilise is so tired of reading tweets just like me. Not because of content, because the blue light hurts my eyes.
Yeah, let's get into it. Before we even get into introductions, as we start the match, those sexy people in the ring we alluded to earlier are Son of Havoc and Evilise. Evilise grabs the mic. I love the similar quote is, because it's not exact, "I don't date losers." It's referring to all those tweets and everyone giving M-Dog shit. "I don't date losers. If anyone has a problem with him, you have a problem with me too."
You also have a problem with young Americans because he is a young Olympic gold medalist. You like Russia, I guess, Twitter.
Twitter, you fucking Russian bots. Enter my guy and Helico to Almost Smells Like Teen Spirit Club remix. It took me a while. I'm sitting there, I'm watching the episode, and I'm rewinding. I grabbed my guitar at one point because I'm like, I know this guitar riff they're playing over him. Like his entrance theme is a song. It's a real song. Like it's one of those like I think I landed on Smells Like Teen Spirit. I think it's those 4 chords. The B, what is it? F, B flat, G sharp, C sharp, something like that. I think that's what I landed on, but it's definitely a real song that then they sort of slightly changed so they couldn't get sued.
Crazy Frog?
It might have been Crazy Frog.
Bog. That would be my entrance music, or the hamster song. Arriba-diba-dobo.
I think I would come out to We Love These Subs by the Spong Monkeys. That was pretty cool. It was a Quiznos ad.
I'd come out to Kings of Snuff by Mental Ward.
Yeah, I'd come out to the clapping sounds of just 2 people fucking.
Oh man, I'd come out to Gigi Allen's Anal Cunt.
Yeah, I'd come out to the last little bit of soap from a bottle of soap being squeezed out. But what's that? Oh, it's blood instead of soap.
Oh man, I'd come.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, we're gonna come. I really like this. Before breaking into it, I'm trying to do something on these episodes where I'm just notating the story moments as opposed to like move by move. I'm just such a fan of Helico, so I'm gonna try.
He's a company man.
And Helico is?
Yeah, because he comes out in like a hoodie that has the Lucha Underground logo on it.
This is true. He has a T-shirt and the hat, both Lucha Underground. This man is selling merchandise on his beautifully supple, tall, slender body. But like, it's weird. A lot of Son of Havoc chants from this crowd.
Son of Havoc and Helico.
Yeah, but like Son of Havoc, I think even a little bit louder.
Oh.
I think it might have been a little more Son of Havoc.
Hey, you had headphones on, so I'll trust your judgment over mine.
Yeah, like maybe even 70-30, but definitely 60-40, which makes sense. Son of Havoc he's been on TV. This is their 13th episode, so they would have had what, like 4 recording sessions up until this point?
Maybe.
Yeah, but like definitely people are very on board. And we've talked about before, Son of Havoc, the man behind the mask, has been a long time independent darling and has like not just paid his dues, like, meeting people and doing the shows, but like physically has learned how to do a lot of really cool shit. He's a very exciting wrestler to watch.
I would also like to know when, I guess I can research this somehow, when they're taped to when they're aired. Like how many episodes? Is it like 1 week and I guess they would always have 1 or 2 in the can?
Maybe. Remind me after this, because we'll look it up and let people know next week. Because that's a very good question. Or maybe it's like all one summer. Oh no, because we know they're doing it only on the weekends.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is I have a very fun, well-paced, just like a really interesting matchup between these 2 guys. Son of Havoc, the high flyer, like a very renowned sort of fast technician, can't really get a lot of high-flying offense in on the very lanky and Helico, who's using a lot of limbs, like a lot of kicks. That he's got these legs that can kind of kick you from 20 feet away. So Son of Havoc having to change his game plan up, a lot of his offense coming from these out of nowhere huge grapples, these slams and these bombs. And that's kind of, but he has enough of those that he's keeping Angelico on his toes. I think Son of Havoc is on top for a lot of this match. It's very back and forth.
You want to hear who wasn't on top during this match and had one hardcore bomb?
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
It was Vampiro, because he says, hey guys, I just got to give a shout to my boy watching this, Kishi. That's how, like, he had, instead of just saying, hey, I got to give a shout to my boy watching this, Kishi, it's, hey, I got to give a shout out to my boy watching this, Kishi.
He was reading his notes.
It was so like ... parenthetical beat, and then he felt like a robot that was processing.
And I couldn't. Is he referring to Rikishi? Fatu, the master of the stink face? That's the guy he used to shove his butt in your face during the WWF.
Hell yeah.
It's the best reaction to stink face I've ever heard.
Hell
true,
yeah.
True, absolutely.
So in this, I came up with what I would love to see this gimmick, because Ivelisse is constantly like grabbing onto Angelico's shins and whatnot to fuck him up.
She grabs his feet to trip him up. She at one point grabs the back of his head while Havoc distracts the referee to kind of choke him on that middle rope.
Okay, so in this vein, in the vein of like far political movements, like far right, far left, I would love to see a far face movement where these good guys are such good guys that if someone interferes from outside of the ring, they say, I don't give a shit about this match, and they go and just beat the shit out of whoever was interfering. Like, as violent as you can get in your promotion, but I would love to see, like, the Boys style or Invincible style of just our hero get out of the ring and just take someone to task of, you are interfering with the honor of this sport, so I'm going to make sure you never do it again and just obliterate this individual.
The interesting, I'm trying to remember because I can't think of, I've certainly thought of there have been times where people do get their comeuppance and they kind of chase them, but I can't think of one off the top of my head where whoever is being interfered on says, fuck this match. I don't care anymore. Mm-hmm. I just need to hurt this person real quick. I can't think of something like that. The interesting thing though, also, as far as like, heroes and villains and baby faces and heels, I think it's more of a heel move to be that brutal, which not to say you can't get cheered. You can't be a good guy. Jon Moxley is a very brutal style wrestler who, for the most part, is presented as a babyface. But there is something very evil about that much violence.
Yeah, that's why it's a far movement where it's like, oh, well, you're a good guy, but oh, wow, we don't like how you're handling this. It would be an instance of, like, I can think of maybe like The Walking Dead, that dude who's like, I gotta protect my people and just beats the shit out of people as like more of a fear tactic. Yeah, that dude. To show everyone like, hey, you are all safe until you step out of line.
That famous babyface Negan.
I don't know what else he does. I assumed he was.
He's a villain. He's a big time villain.
Okay, so he wasn't like protecting his flock.
He would tell them that, but that's like kind of, like a cult leader does.
Okay,
like a very manipulative person.
I want that. I want a politician who will get the job done, okay?
The big Law and Order style from James over here.
Yeah, I just thought that would be cool.
Yeah, it would be. I would love to see that. I don't know, but I almost want to see that as like the beginning of their heel turn, where they're like, fuck, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of playing by the rules. I'm sick of getting fucked on by just being the good guy. No more. Play that track, Mr. Cooper, for I am no more Mr. Nice Guy, and I am no more Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very cool, I like that. It's a good idea. James, you had a good idea.
God, someone put me in a goddamn writer's room.
Back to the match real quick, because maybe I didn't have anything more to say.
I just got one more, which is the end. It's post finish.
Yeah. Then I'll real quick kind of talk through the match, just kind of the story between the two, where Son of Havoc and he's getting his high spots in. He's getting these big bombs in that can start setting up for his more high flying stuff. Clearly showing off he's a talented guy. Like one of the things we talked about before about Rudos and heels is that they need to cheat to win. Son of Havoc kind of showing off he doesn't necessarily need to. He just can't stop getting in his own way.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Angelico, like this is definitely more of the story of Son of Havoc and Ivelisse, but Angelico right now has this laid back confidence of someone with immense ability. Like he's very laid back. He's very cool. I would compare it to ECW Rob Van Dam, where Rob Van Dam was very like almost people in there's a lot of talk about intensity, which is great, but not every character needs to be intense. Sometimes you just have that one guy who's like, I'm like really good and I don't know how to really talk about it. So I'll just like, that's kind of what Angelico's doing. It's like, not to be cocky, but like I am really good. And so this is the story. Yes, go ahead.
Rob Van Dam's like, not to be cocky, but like I'm stoned right now.
This is true. So this is the story. It's a very back and forth. We get to the end. Ivelisse is on the apron. Son of Havoc takes a kiss, a cute little peck on the cheek from Ivelisse. Angelico tries to cut off Son of Havoc, but he ducks, goes behind. Angelico catches himself right before he pops Ivelisse. Then Son of Havoc tries to cut him off. Kind of same thing. Angelico goes behind. Son of Havoc stops himself from punching Ivelisse. Nobody has punched Ivelisse. All these wonderful people. Eventually, Son of Havoc does get the go behind, pushes Angelico into Ivelisse. Angelico goes for the kiss. I don't blame him, but receives the slap instead.
Yeah.
But Ivelisse only's got lips for the son of the road man, Havoc. Ivelisse slaps Angelico. Son of Havoc rolls up, gets the two. Angelico, as he's kicking out, pushes Son of Havoc into Ivelisse. She's been on the apron the whole time. Some of this is on her.
Yeah.
In a brutal, like, spears her almost off of the apron. Angelico rolls up Son of Havoc for the 1-2-3 victory at 6 minutes and 32 seconds.
I also really liked that not only was he like, he wasn't holding the legs, he was holding the shoulders down in the roll up. It was very technically sound.
Yeah. Angelico is arguably one of the, I think, underrated today chain wrestlers and sort of grapples. Even when they start the match, my favorite way how they started it was Angelico, knowing Son of Havoc is a very fast, a very speedy wrestler, sort of ties him up in knots to frustrate him. Like he's just doing a lot of go behinds and arm traps and like, yeah, a lot of like arm locks, so that when Son of Havoc does decide to build up this momentum, Angelico just drops him with a drop kick. Like this is my favorite. This is kind of my favorite style, and I love laid back confidence. There's so many reasons I love Angelico. I think this match, for this match alone, maybe I'm too much of a mark. Go out and check it out. They're telling the Son of Havoc story. Angelico is finally getting a chance to shine. I love it.
We also see that he's a man of the people because he's in the crowd, on the crowd celebrating.
Yeah, Angelico just pops up on somebody's lap and kind of shrugs like, I guess I'm a sexy boy. I don't know. I love it. Meanwhile, Ivelisse and Son of Havoc are not celebrating. Son of Havoc goes out to Ivelisse to apologize. I'm sorry, Angela. I don't know. Every time a dude apologizes to his significant other, I just think of him. I'm sorry, Angela. Every dude is Tony from Who's the Boss to me.
Oh, I thought that was Rambo.
Yeah, same guy, right? I'm sorry, Angela. I had to murder this entire village of people.
Well, doesn't he say Vietnam. Angela in Rocky?
Yeah. He says, Angela. And then he rips his shirt in the rain. And then Angela's like, I've always relied on the kindness of strangers.
We're discussing things I have never seen before. So all three of these.
I just combined every Italian actor into one person.
Hell yeah. Just like we did with Bible Man.
Absolutely. Listen to the episode. Ivelisse is pissed at Son of Havoc, does not accept the apology, just walks away without him. And Son of Havoc is left broken and alone to a shower of "you fucked up" chants,
which are bleeped out for the first time.
And I'm so invested where this story is going. They might flip Son of Havoc into a hero. He's really getting over with the audience.
Grandson of Havoc.
Oh, what does that mean?
Maybe she's pregnant.
Whoa, and that's why she's so mad she speared him in the belly. He speared her in the belly.
Well, it was more into her clavicle or titty, but she needs those titties to give substance to baby.
Yeah, and she needs those clavicles to teach the baby good morals.
Spear into the boobie and it explodes in a rain of milk and blood.
That's my favorite Slayer song. We cut to Dario Cueto's office, where Dario is talking to somebody, says, "We haven't seen you since Aztec Warfare, but you're ready for some action. Since you've been gone, we've had time to cool off, so let's let bygones be bygone." And Johnny fucking Mundo is on the other side of this desk.
Hey, you got one thing right. I do want more fights.
James, weren't you excited, just pissing out of your seat as soon as you saw Johnny Mundo back upon your television screen?
I sure was, and I loved a word he said. Because he says, all right, you want to know what? When you come in, you're a main event. So tonight, main event, you versus the Machine Cage. And Johnny Mundo says, who, that ham bone who tore up the title belt last week?
Ham bone, ham bone, ham bone, ham bone.
It is something that, like, a nickname that I will call Nicole here and there, but whenever I hear ham bone, I'm guessing you've seen the Dexter's Laboratory episode where they go on a road trip and they go to a diner and they say, "Oh, do you have hamburgers?" And the waitress says, "No, we don't got hamburgers. We got ham sandwiches, ham bones, ham hocks." And like she keeps going and Dexter leans over towards Dee Dee and goes, "Dee Dee, what is a ham hock?" It's very funny. Check that episode out.
I love that word as well. I also love Dario solemnly nods as soon as he says ham bone, when he says ham bone like that. It's like, yes, the ham bone. You've been watching the product. So Mundo says, "You mean that ham bone that tore your title apart?" Solemn nod. "Well, you better get a new one." And puts on his sunglasses, big David Caruso style. Johnny Mundo is the fucking man.
And then a sound like pastiche comes in and it's like, oh,
because they could not afford to clear the Who.
No,
they are very expensive.
Yeah.
We cut to the ring for our next match. Famous B, who we also haven't seen since Aztec Warfare, versus Pentagon Jr., baby.
And guys, we've said it so many times. This episode solidifies this is WMAC Masters or Tekken. Just the packages we get with this and one later on at the end, just we're in a video game now.
Oh, absolutely. As Pentagon's making his way to the ring, we get a hype package, which we've seen something like this before in the dojo of Penta. But just this like oddly like moonlit dojo. Pentagon's fighting all sorts of martial artists. There's kickboxer. Looks like there is a Shotokan karate guy. I don't think that style is called karate guy, but I'm an insensitive fool. And it's just Pentagon like fighting all these styles and coming up with his own way to sort of defeat them. He puts in this voiceover voiced by Pentagon. He puts over the deadly survival of martial arts. And while he was taught to respect his teachers and those that came before him, it was only through the amalgamation of styles and lucha libre that his mission will be complete. Like that I have respect for those that came before me, but I'm doing my own thing. I'm combining everything I've learned to really ace these SATs. But SAT stands for sexy ass trashing, because he's trashing the asses of these other sexy men in the ring with him.
Or skillful art of terror.
Yeah, that's much better.
Or skillful arts of tactics, something like that.
Yeah, or super ass toys.
Oh man, a skillful art of terror? Oh my god, what could cages could be art, you know? So the Dominator is an SAT.
Yeah, no. Listen, I had nothing going into this, clearly. I'm still not ready to sign off on the Dominator.
You don't need to sign off. We need opposition.
No. Why? Why do you need opposition? If you're facing opposition, that might be a sign that this product is a crime against humanity.
Oh, okay, all right. Rap music in general was a lot of people were putting the hands down fists of NWA or Public Enemy.
You're calling me Tipper Gore.
Yes.
Because I don't sign off on torturing puppies.
No, I'm just saying you need to be a provocateur.
Pentagon Jr. goes on to say, my way of fighting encapsulates the dark parts of the imagination and the human spirit, free to fight without limitations. Cero miedo.
Which I guess also means zero respect is what we're about to find out.
Well, he kind of talks about it where it's not that he doesn't have respect. It's just that he's trying to move the art form forward, which it's an interesting story being told in this match versus Famous B, where Famous B, who is a SoCal guy and kind of has this indie wrestling style that became very popular in SoCal, which is a very lucha influenced. It's very flashy. PG dub, baby. It's very flashy. It's very fast. It's very high flying. Where Pentagon Jr. is sort of taking this lucha style into a very different direction where it's much more direct and it's much more violent. If someone was going to say, fuck this match, I need to beat the shit out of Bobby the Brain Heenan because he keeps interfering, like you were saying, like that, Pentagon Jr. might be your guy to do that, you know?
But he wants Mortal Kombat. He wants Shaolin or Shao Kahn. What's the dude's name?
Shao Kahn?
Shao Kahn saying like, hey, your soul is mine, and rip off an arm or something. That's what Pentagon Jr. wants. I want an upstanding individual who kind of snaps and is like, no, get out of my ring if you're not on the bill.
You know what? That's true. Pentagon is already kind of snapped.
That would be like if someone's like, oh, you want to know what? In Mortal Kombat, put railing on this fucking ring so we're not falling into acid.
You just want an OSHA committee in your Mortal Kombat games.
Absolutely.
Penta wants to put an oh shit committee into the face of Famous B. Like he just, and kind of like fighting games. I feel like I like that you brought it up too, because Pentagon Jr. in this match, it feels like he's throwing out punishes. Like Famous B is throwing out like his combo opener, but Penta ducks and he's just gonna punish with an uppercut. That's the style of fighting. It feels like he's throwing out all these. He's not the combo starter. He's waiting for his opponent to throw a wild haymaker and then just punish. It's very exciting but short match. Penta wins via submission at a minute 32. And then even after he wins, he's still snapping arms.
Yeah, he should have been disqualified. Like the win should have been null and void.
That happens. It's up to referee discretion. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it don't. In the temple, baby. In the temple, baby. You want those disqualifications. You want those rules. How about you hit WWE? Why don't you go ask Jeff Jarrett for a whole bunch of gold at TNA. Down here at the temple? Oh, we snapping limbs and we trim. I'm a pubic hair designer.
Cracking limbs and snacking quim.
Yeah, baby. I know if I ever say the worst thing possible, James will still yes and me, and I thank him for that.
Well, I was just coming up with a nice rhyme.
I liked it. Post-match, Penta has a mic in the ring, pledges his loyalty to Master, who we do not know.
Splinter, probably.
Probably Splinter.
Nah, Shredder.
You think he might be a Shredder guy?
Splinter would smack you with a cane.
Yeah, Splinter would not stand up for you breaking someone's arm after the match.
Oh my God. Splinter has a cane. Conan has a cane. Same person.
Oh my God, Conan is Splinter, true. And Pentagon is a sad teenager playing an arcade game in his sketchy warehouse. Now the interesting thing about this match is kind of like Son of Havoc. Crowd's on board with Penta. A lot of Sarah Miedo chants. These two like major kind of villains, the crowd's just super behind. It's interesting seeing how they're going to be presented in the future.
I've never seen Penta as a villain, just like a tweener.
Yes, that's fair. More of a willing to anti-hero, I guess. Kind of a willing to do anything sort of guy. But people, I mean, it's 2014, 2015. People love anti-heroes.
Yeah.
Wolverine's a cool guy.
Deadpool's in the mix.
Yeah. Fucking Kazuya, who is arguably a villain, but is kind of really cool and turns into a devil and chucks his dad off volcanoes. You know, it's complicated.
Well, he's just a villain to the Iron Fist.
Well, he also did try and take over the world and has started like multiple global conflicts in the name of money.
Yeah, I forgot he took over the Machinima clan and then with his power wreaked havoc.
Yeah, like he's been a bad yeah.
Yeah.
Kazuya's complicated. He's complicated, you know. We're trying, Kazuya.
I think Jin, you want to know what? When you grow up fatherless as a Mashiva, you're going to do okay. If not, you're going to want to kill the planet.
Yeah. Or like in Jin's case in Tekken 6, I think it was, you'll try to kill the planet, but it's only so that like a long lost relative doesn't kill the planet even worse. The Mishimas are complicated.
Yeah.
We cut to a creepy cell we've seen before, with Cueto holding this key. Spoilers, the creepy cell features Dario Cueto sitting on a rickety stool alone, fingering the key around his neck.
Sean, you were right.
About everything?
Last week, you were like, I think this person he's trying to find may be held captive, or the mysterious woman was trying to find might have been held captive, and she's looking for him, thinking I think you're correct in your hypothesis.
I wish you thought I was correct regarding my feelings on the Dominator, but I will take this victory.
Well, hey, what can hold this man in this giant room? It's a room-sized Dominator, guys.
Oh, no. But yes, my gut instinct on never trust Dario Cueto proves out again. He's talking out loud. News of this temple and what's happening here is spreading. It's such a shame you cannot share it with me. I want you to know she came looking for you. She calls herself the Black Lotus. I know she was a little girl back then, but you should see her now. I could have given her this key, but I'm not a fool. I have to protect this temple from Matanza. And as Cueto walks away, a shadow enters frame. Shikamaru is Matanza. This is a Naruto crossover episode. I'm calling it now. We're going to get Sasuke versus Pentagon Jr. over the sad edgelords who are just trying to make it work. And that'd be pretty cool to me. But yeah, we see this is the first glimpse we see of Matanza. We see his shadow. And I'm very excited. I need to stop using Twitter. Here's the weird thing about doing a wrestling podcast like 6-7 years after the fact.
Yeah. And
being so active on wrestling Twitter. I do know who plays Matanza. I'm very excited. He's a great wrestler. But I'm just like, oh, I wish I didn't know.
Shockmaster?
I cannot confirm nor deny that Tugboat, aka is it Shockmaster Tugboat? Yes. Anyway, I cannot confirm nor deny that the Shockmaster comes through this wall and then the British Bulldog with his ass to the camera laughs heartily.
Yay.
Our next match tonight, Drago versus Aerostar. This was a very fun babyface versus babyface, high flyer versus high flyer, speed versus speed. But even up top, light advantage to a Drago. Like, they're very evenly matched, but Drago's getting a lot in. Before we get deep, initial thoughts.
I only have one note because it was just a good match.
Great match, yeah. Is it towards the end, or do you want it up top?
It's pretty much the end.
All right, so then I'll walk through this match a little bit. I like Aerostar hits a Hurricane Rana, and Mad Striker comes in, Not to be confused with the Frankensteiner. The Hurricane Rana is a bit more of an angle. Frankensteiner is a leg scissors, but almost like 180 degrees. It's a straight line. You go up, down. So yeah, Stryker comes in, not to be confused with the Frankensteiner. Vampiro, yeah, when Scott Steiner was about 100 pounds lighter and can move. Like, why are we attacking Scott Steiner? He's not in this company. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave Scott Steiner alone. That man is doing math and fucking big boot. Let the big booty daddy be the big booty daddy. Hot take. But yeah, beautiful match. A lot of like 1-for-1, but always Drago getting a little bit more.
Can I say something real quick?
Please.
I was like, oh, I guess, did Scott Steiner, did he go into like mathematics? Is he a professor or something now? But then I was like, oh yeah, he does really poor math on an episode.
Actually, the worst thing about it, really good math. Like if you take a calculator and you check his math, he's 100% right. It's just the act of Scott Steiner doing math. Beautiful match. Aerostar's over the top 619 is still like my favorite move. Like I'm shocked every time I see him hit that 619, but instead of going through the ropes, he goes over the top, and I'm like, what the fuck? Matt Stryker is a Pottermore fan, confirmed, which I did not expect in this episode.
I don't know what that means.
He's a big Harry Potter guy.
Okay.
He has this Aerostar falling from the sky like a comet. Haha, I'll use my muggle words from now on if anyone hates these references. What? Matt Stryker, stop talking about Harry Potter and call the match.
He loves it.
He loves his Harry Potter. The sort of second gear of this match picks up after Drago hits a brutal mat return and then cuts off Aerostar with another brutal drop kick and then hits the outside tope con ello corkscrew. By the time they hit second gear, it's all Drago. Like as soon as Drago hits that drop kick to cut off Aerostar, it's all Drago. He's taken over. He wins the match with Blockbuster DDT. First time the Blockbuster DDT has finished a match, but when you have that much momentum going, Drago's going to win at 4 minutes, 13 seconds.
See, I saw someone do that. It didn't work. It was in a previous episode, the Blockbuster DDT, but it was the Black Bleaster DDT.
No. Is this an Amanda Show reference?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Did you know I sold season 3 of the Amanda Show DVD on eBay for $170?
Congratulations. How much is it going for now, I wonder?
Oh, no, that it was just sold.
Oh, like just now? Congratulations.
Like
make that money.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, bring in the dancing lobsters.
Mm-hmm.
After the match, it's sportsmanship, baby. Drago helps up Aerostar. He offers him the hand.
He's a sweetie.
That's how you know he's a good guy. Double thumbs up, baby. Big lucha chance.
And I liked the Aerostar's like holding his head or something, or like he poked an eye out because someone says, oh, I guess he misjudged the horn and lost an eye. The horn of Drago, that is.
One of the best hugs in the game, but you gotta be careful when you're hugging a dragon.
Okay, speaking of hugs.
Donkey, baby.
I know that, Sean, your trepidation on the Dominator. You kind of enjoyed the Hugginator, but what about this? We do kind of elastic mesh netting, and it goes in, so it looks like a cage, but it's just going to kind of look like it's netted up and caught a dog, and it just does that over and over again. Now, you make sure you hook the leg. It's the safety precaution, because if, oh, my dog's claw got caught in one of the mesh nettings, that's not on us. That's on you for not like treating your dog with safety in mind.
If you, in the middle of the pitch, if you have to start throwing out safety, like covering your bases, it's a bad sign. I'm gonna put that out there.
Well, when you have a razor blade to shave your face, there's safety instructions on that, isn't there?
Yeah, but when when someone's like, hey, you might need to buy a razor blade, they're not just defensive. It's not just like, hey, by the way, be careful on this. It's, and if you decide to cut yourself with your own razor blade while you're waiting for your parents to come back from a trip on their boat they inherited from their sketchy Swiss bank friend, don't come crying to me.
It was a large knife.
I apologize. So my only issue with the Dominator, it's the same question I asked when the Hugginator came up. What is the intended mental state of the dog?
Terror.
Now, I'm not on board. Then I am not on board, and you knew this going into this pitch.
I just want an obedient dog who's not like, oh, I love you because you're just there. No, I want them to know. I want them to love me because they know I can end them.
That's not love. That is manipulation.
That's why I love gaslighting.
Nicole. Because you put Nicole in the Dominator?
No, I love Nicole because I know she can end me just by one glance. Oh, baby, she's so attractive.
As romantic as this is for the terror dog, I am out.
Okay.
We go to the temple gym now, where Fénix is working out on the heavy bag, gray gym shorts and mask, which, fuck yeah. If specifically Lucha Underground got the game and this was not an alternate costume for Fénix, I would be livid. Great look. Great look. When Katrina, a mysterious finger plays the nobody behind you game and appears in front of Fénix. I didn't know how else to describe that move. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The words I used? Okay. Yep, she appears, traces Fénix's Dreamcatcher chest tattoo, and asks, does this protect you from the nightmares? No. Dude, Katrina's terrifying. I fucking love her. She asks Fénix, dude, all the lines here are just so, like, again, we talk about, like, what did we call this? What did you call this before? This is the, instead of, like, something of wrestling. You said this is, like, fuck.
You need to give more details.
As opposed to just a wrestling show, this is like the something. You compared this to another show, I think.
WMAC Masters.
WMAC Masters, yes. It's a very WMAC Masters. A lot of like sort of Riverdale as well in this. Like all the horror in the temple is very like Riverdale and sort of not even as much supernatural because it's not about going from town to town. It's all in this central location. Mm-hmm. And the stories, instead of getting a new story, a new monster of the week, it's the same monsters. We're just building on the lore and uncovering layers. And, she's so scary. What can scare a man who cannot die?
Oh, I know, because he's not a man, he's a bird, a phoenix, a bird cage-shaped dominator.
No, she goes on to say, I have a message for you, but not from Mil Muertes. It's from me. And she shoves her tongue into Fénix's mouth and they go blah, 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 like adults do when they're feeling randy. And she pulls back and says, keep this a secret, because if Mil was to find out, he would bury us both alive.
Ooh. But hey, then you just get to, that's not a mean thing he's doing. He's just like, hey, I experienced this. I want you to experience as well. Is this when we find out that maybe I was locked in a cage that slowly closed and opened a bunch? Maybe I want to give that experience to the dogs of the world, just like I did, because the individual was saying, come here, you little mutt, and made me bark for them.
James, we have to cut all of this out.
Why?
We can't let people know your villain origin stories.
Oh.
We can't. Because if they find out that you were locked in a cage that was slowly closing for many years of your life, they'll ask who did that to you, and I can't afford to let that answer out. So moving on.
It also would be bad because they'd be like, well, I get the Dominator now. Put me down for 3.
What would your reaction to be if you were working out on your heavy bag, gray shorts, mask on, and Katrina came up to you like this? Basically kind of like cheated on Mil with you and gave you the, hey, this is our secret now, or else Mil will murder you to death.
Oh, what would
your reaction be?
I'd walk up to Mil with Nicole and Nicole and HR in arm and say, hey, just so you're aware, Katrina's no longer allowed in the temple.
That's true. I forget. You having a beautiful, loving relationship does add a wrinkle. Meanwhile, my single ass is like, oh, I guess I got to keep a secret now. Okay.
I guess I got to go jack off into Chafo's bag.
Yeah. True.
Because Katrina just left a steamy loaf in there, and that's what I'm into.
Fénix is kind of the hero you were talking about before. I think where like he's such a baby face that if he just beat the shit out of Evilise, everyone would be like, "Whoa!" Because even his reaction to this is he's not like turned on. He's not like he's selling it, but he's not like, "Oh, sexy Katrina, maybe I am a bad guy." No, he's just kind of like, "You shouldn't have done that." Ah, jeez, I love it. I'm a Superman fan. I love Captain America. I love Fénix. I love these heroiest of heroes, and just being like, this is getting messy, but gotta do the right thing. I love it. I do.
We then see a little just like, hey, it's Mundo versus the Machine. And in one of it's Mundo walking down the hallway of the temple, and you see his abs, and I'm like, those are my 2023 goals, is to have abs. So I'm working on my cum gutters. They're coming in nice, but now I have to start working up the upper abs, so those start coming in full. And what I need to do at the end of 2023, I hope I can post a shirtless pic on Instagram and get minimum 100 likes.
Hell yeah. Thirst trap incoming. Y'all got warned.
It's not really thirst trap. It's just, hey guys, am I pretty?
That's the definition of a thirst trap.
But it's sad. I'm not horny.
That's the definition of a thirst trap.
Okay.
Thirst traps disguise themselves as being horny and they can still be horny, but there's always an element of sadness, I think, to a real nice thirst trap. Send your angry emails to james@marshland.org.
Not at all.
I send you an email every week for this podcast, and I could not be bothered to remember. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah. Also, maybe don't hey, guys, at MSS Pod on Twitter or Marshland Monster on Instagram, don't give out my email address. These perverts over here, even though I think most of our listeners already have my email address because they're our friends.
That's true. Yeah, you perverts. Make sure you save that perv energy until the full cum gutter picture is revealed on Instagram from a year's time. We go to our main event. Truly, some of the best abs in the game. Johnny Mundo versus equally, I mean, he's more mass than definition, but great abs. Not to take away from the abs of the Machine, the Cage.
Great abs, bad facial hair. Get that out of here.
Whoa, get out of here. I love it. And so I'm watching AEW Dark, as I want to do. Cage is wrestling there, and he refers to himself as the weapon excellence of execution. This man combined the nicknames of Wolverine and Bret Hart. He is secretly such a fucking dork.
I don't think it's secret.
I love that. It's not. It's actually really not. He's very upfront with how much he loves Wolverine. Like, Wolverine's his guy. All of his moves are named after Wolverine. Or like Wolverine, either Wolverine moves, like the Tornado Claw, or straight up Weapon X is the name of his finisher. I don't know, man. I would love to... I don't know. We don't know these people. We've never met Brian Cage. He might not be a nice person, but from everything I've heard, he seems really nice. And there is something so sweet to me about this giant fucking just this huge dude who's also very athletic and very physical and just mean in the ring, who is secretly just like, oh no, I kind of want some cocoa, maybe my favorite comic book. A nice night at the fire. To me, that sounds pretty sweet. Like, I don't know. He's just he's secretly a sweetheart, which is like my favorite thing about, like, usually the most violent wrestlers secretly turn out to be absolute sweeties.
He's on Twitter defending Wolverine Origins.
Well, I don't think anyone was defending Wolverine Origins. But I don't know. Yeah, that's Brian Cage the man. We must discuss Brian Cage the Machine.
Who did not rip the gold in half. Just the belt, just the leather part. The actual centerpiece was not torn in half, Sean.
Yeah, way to bring that back and throw it in my face. I want to, and I shouldn't have checked, so I actually can't say anything. I want to say that was retconned, but I did not go back to look. So, James, you are right about everything, like you always are. Great cum gutters, bud.
You want to know what? Keep talking. I'm pulling up last week's episode.
You sure? So yeah, we talked about Mundo comes out first, Cage comes out second with the ripped belt, like a fucking Chad. Like it was a very cool visual to see the ripped belt around his neck, just like a fucking Chad. And the match starts. It's an interesting match. Obviously, like everything, Cage has the power. And that's going to be what this match is. Very similar to the Puma one, where Mundo's technique and speed and athleticism and ring awareness, ring intelligence, because Mundo has just been wrestling for a lot longer than a lot of these people on the roster. Not everyone, but a lot of them. So you see how Mundo puts a match together. It's so scientific. Like it's very exciting to me to watch Mundo put a match together, because again, it is so logical, especially in this match with Cage. Like he's so much bigger than me. He's so much stronger than me. I need to find these ways to take him down, and he does. And he never does it in a way that makes Cage feel dumb or less strong than he is. It's just that Mundo is that good.
I'm just at the part where like Conan, bloody face, just like crying up to the sky. No, the gold does not get ripped in half, just the belt.
Okay. Then yes, you were correct last week.
He would be way too powerful, or the gold is very thin in order to be able to do that.
He might be way too powerful. This Johnny Mundo struggles to put him off his feet. One of the big stories in this match is that Johnny Mundo gets a lot more moves in comparatively in the first 2 acts or so. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more Johnny Mundo. It's a lot more of Johnny's moves than it is Cage's moves. But that's because Cage he has so much more knockout power in a single move that it's one of those, like, if Johnny ever stops moving, if he lets himself get hit by one, this match might be over. Like, Johnny has to do like 3 moves to every one of Cage's because of how powerful he is.
Mm-hmm. I did bring up how Conan was bloody. They bring up how, Conan's blood is on Cage's hand because he's a machine and he doesn't wash himself. However, the Dominator, please wash. Do not let Chavo win. People will start shitting in there. And people don't want to clean that. It gunks it up.
Anyway, talking about this match, James... King Cuerno, at some point, I have no great transition to bring up. King Cuerno, this little perv watching from the rafters, out of nowhere disappears and it's just staring intently. We have no real idea. As far as we know, these 3 men have never interacted.
Yeah.
Right? Cage never interacted with Cuerno. I feel like, no, I don't think Johnny and Cuerno have had too much interaction either.
Maybe in Aztec?
Maybe, probably.
They could have been there at the same time, or the lead up to Aztec when it was like the 10 versus 10.
Sure, the qualifiers up to Aztec Warfare. Probably. Yeah, but very interesting to see Cuerno just absolutely creeping up on the top.
Vampiro says like, oh man, I don't like this Johnny Mundo. He may look fly and flashy, but he's got an agenda. He'll do anything to win. And it's like, that is competition, man. It's not an agenda. That is the goal. That is the purpose of this, is to get the title. Vampiro, shut up.
He worded it wrong, but I do appreciate, because someone like Mundo, who is a hero, even in this match, he is different from, say, Puma or Fénix, where Puma and Fénix, part of winning to them is the honor. Like winning honorably is important. It's not so much whether I win or lose, because if I win without honor, it's almost as bad as losing to me. Where I don't think Mundo has that, but that's part of why he pulls moves off. He's so smart in the ring. He's so scientific. The way he like traps Cage's leg to trip out the other one, which is a spot I loved. But that's not a spot that might necessarily pop in the heads of Puma or Fénix, because to win with honor means to win with your own expression. They're like, in some ways they're less adaptive, both morally and like in ring, where Mundo is a lot more willing to like, I feel like Mundo kicked Big Rick in the nuts. Technically legal, like square kicked him in the nuts, 5 feet in the air. a legal move, but not a very honorable move.
No, it's fine when the person is blowing smoke in your face.
I guess. I guess. I don't know.
But
yeah,
while we're on the subject of Vampiro saying just stupid shit.
Oh, I got this one.
I hope it's the same one. There's a situation where they go outside of the ring and one of them almost falls onto like the metal stairs. Is that your quote?
Oh, no. I have a different quote. This actually might be Stryker. Sorry.
Someone says, did you know if you fall on the metal stairs, you could die? And it was said so much like a 6-year-old telling you a fact they heard that I'm like, wow, someone gave this individual a job.
I'm telling from the top of this episode, Vampiro is very excited tonight, and I love excited Vampiro.
What's the quote you had?
So I think mine was actually a Matt Stryker quote, where they're talking about the power behind Johnny Mundo's legs. He says, "A lot of kicks from Mundo, the point of the toe going into the mouth, not as hot as it sounds. I'm sure Tony Atlas likes that. What did Tony do?" Tony Atlas, famed wrestler from the territory days, famous nowadays for having a big old foot fetish.
Oh, okay.
But in 2014,
that's what he did. He had a foot fetish.
But in 2014, 2015, for the foot fetish was not part of the gimmick. That's just something he does now. And B, who the fuck knows who Tony Atlas is?
You do, you fucking nerd.
Yeah, but I'm a fucking nerd, and you should not market towards me. I will let you down.
This is also something that I don't like in underground anything, where when you have such an emphasis on, hey, we are doing the good shit. Oh, everyone else has such low attention spans and they're not really putting forth towards the art. We're the artists here and everyone else is just the watered down or the commercial. They emphasize that so much. Rap music will do it as well. And just if you have to make that known, that is now your gimmick. You are now a gimmicky individual. Just let the art stand on its own and you're good. The wrestlers are doing that. The commentators are not.
I do want to put an asterisk on it just because of how much of a monopoly is happening in wrestling at the time. Because there was such a monopoly from the WWE. And you see it today where kind of like a lot of American fans can only understand wrestling under the WWE style, because they do have a very distinct style, because they are marketing a lot more towards families and children. So like the in-ring work sometimes, especially under Vince, is not as important as the character work, as the promos and stuff. And if you like characters and promos, that's totally a valid way to like watch wrestling and to enjoy wrestling. But it's not the only way. So like you almost do have to make a statement that, hey, we are doing a different style. Our style is more akin to the AAA Lucha Libre style. And for American audiences, this might be a little different, but give us a chance.
Oh, no, that's totally fine. But when you're saying like, we're the real shit, watch us, the others, fuck off. That's that baby. That
I agree with that.
Yes, that's what I am implying. But to say like, hey, guys, your taste might not be to this, but here, let us explain what it is. And hey, give us a shot. You might like us. That's fine. That's being very humble about yourself. But when you're just like, we're the greatest, we'll make your attention is on us because it's not them.
Yeah, there's a sort of a wrestling promo unwritten rule of like when you're going, two wrestlers were going into these promo against each other. And I think it was the babyface says, this guy's a fucking idiot. He's a bad wrestler, and I'm gonna beat him, and I'm the best. And the other guy who he was cutting the promo against, the veteran in the situation, comes up to this new guy and says, "What the fuck are you doing? You kind of just screwed yourself. Because now, if you beat me, you beat someone." And this was like for a pay-per-view. There's no fight. Like you beat me, and everyone knew you were gonna beat me. Like. You didn't challenge yourself. Why would people pay money to see you beat someone you were already going to beat? Or I beat you and now you just lost to someone who was so much worse than you. Like either way, you're bringing us both down. And I feel the same way about competition in your field. Unless someone has done something really personal to you, there's no reason for you to like, if you have to hit other people to make yourself look better, you don't look that much better. You just don't. And usually it's the opposite. Like when you punch down like that, now everyone kind of hates this scene more. Like because you spend all this time making the other person look bad instead of making yourself look good. Yeah. Now if a rising tide raises all boats, a lowering tide kind of does the same thing.
Yeah.
But this match is crazy.
Yeah.
I have no transition other than this match was great.
We get like a high flying spot where I think Cage is outside of the ring and then Mundo's about to like jump towards him and it's going towards the commentator desk and you see Vampiro get up and he's like, oh no. Vampiro's scared of this, of like, oh, if I don't get up, there's a chance that I will be hit. And I very much enjoyed that. But in the same instance, you get Vampiro scared. And then when Mundo goes, lands the attack, they're all in a daze. Cuerno starts moving down and just looks menacing. They get back into the ring, but Cuerno, as this is happening, as he's on the prowl, there is a woman in the crowd just screaming like she is about to witness a murder of like, Mundo, you need to look. It added so much genuine panic to what is going on. Whoever that woman is deserves a carte blanche to any wrestling match she wants to go to. Just give her front row, whatever row she wants for free.
This woman is comped. Yes. And also, like, put more on everyone who's ever covered John Morrison or Lucha Underground or any of his appearances outside of WWE has said this, but I'll say it again and again. This guy is such a star. Like, for him to pull that reaction out of someone, and he's doing it so well. And this match against a huge and athletic, we didn't even talk about Cage's moonsault. Cage goes for a springboard moonsault. He's not like he slowly climbs to the top and then no, he jumps from the second rope to the top rope seamlessly, turns around, moonsaults all in the matter of like half a second. And it's a great looking moonsault.
Oh yeah.
And for Mundo to have such a competitive match where it's clear that Cage is stronger. It's clear that this is not easy, but Mundo is doing everything to make it work and keep people on their feet on his side. I don't blame that woman. I am that woman. Yeah. James, I am that woman, as are all of us. Mundo, please avoid King Cuerno. He's going to sweep your leg and cause a disqualification at 6 minutes and 35 seconds.
I was like, this gets the DQ. What fucking Ivelisse does, anyone else, this gets the DQ.
Shout out to Havoc to jump back on that. One of my favorite ways to distract a referee, which is how Ivelisse gets away with her shit, is Son of Havoc throwing his arm around the shoulder of the ref and just having a real like, hey man, I don't know. Am I okay? Just like as a person, am I all right? The ref's like, yeah, you're fine. I need to go look at this. Like, okay. No, but unfortunately there is no distraction. The ref sees all of it, disqualifies.
And this is where we need the far face movement.
Of Johnny Mundo just losing his shit?
Yeah, and just beating the crap out of Cuerno.
Yeah, well. Dario Cueto comes out of his office.
Yeah, because real quick, Cage sees this and just does like a nah and starts walking up the stairs as Cuerno takes out a chair, puts it on the ring post and smashes Johnny's leg. And then Cuerno runs away. Then Cueto comes out.
A couple of times. Thank you, because Cuerno, I forgot, destroys the knee. He rams it in. He takes the chair. Cage gets a bah, and Cueto comes out. Says, Johnny, because you're my friend, I'm not gonna let your 5-star matches end like this. Restart the match.
Ding 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 ding.
This was such an interesting reaction too from Johnny, where he's not mad at Dario Cueto. He's excited to fight, but he also knows he's fucked. Because like all of his offense and his counter, like a lot of this match was him countering and him like avoiding the big moves. All of that comes from his legs.
Yeah.
Everything he does is knee and or leg based.
Which I really enjoyed him playing off, hey, I have a bad shin and knee. So when he tries to kick with the opposite, it doesn't do as well because he's off balance. When he tries to kick the others, he's doing damage to him and Cage. But I really loved a move Cage did to get him up on his shoulders. If you have ever worked with your father in any construction capacity, even if it's just like moving rocks from one side of the yard to another, you've heard the, hey, lift with your knees, not your back. Well, Cage must have heard his father say that all the time because he's lifting with the rope, not his back, because like Johnny is on the rope, like trying to climb up the ropes with his arms, and Cage just kind of swoops underneath to like get his shoulders up on, and then like uses the rope's levity to bring him up fully.
Yeah, I spent a lot of this match like putting over how smart Johnny was and how scientific he is. It's not to take away Cage is a very smart wrestler. Cage, both like storytelling wise and the character, both like understand what it takes and how to go from move to move. Both are, it's just the experience of Mundo, I think, more than anything else.
Yeah.
But like, Cage is very smart this entire time. I think commentary kind of puts the second half of this match best. Stryker says Johnny has heart, he has fight, and Vampiro cuts him off, but he has no brains, kicking someone with a busted knee. And just that, like, that's like everything you just said, though. That's this like really tragedy, because we all also know it's like going in to watch Romeo and Juliet. You know it's going to be a whole bunch of dead teenagers at the end.
Yay.
And it is written on the, why did you yay? That is not a yay.
I love the bard.
Oh, not true. All right, fair.
Anything that man writes, give a title.
Taming of the Shrew.
Yay.
That is, all right. I don't have time to get into all the problems with the Taming of the Shrew. But trust me, not his best. Cage with that metalingus, his F5 that like, the way he gets Johnny like vertical and drops his head scares me. It looks fucking great. It's the second time he's done it like this. So like, that's how the move's meant to do.
Cage truly is a machine given cunnilingus or metalingus. Fuck, I ruined the joke.
Cage gives head to a tailpipe. And it's all over. Mundo is fighting a losing battle as the Tornado Claw and then the Weapon X secures Cage's victory at 10 minutes and 3 seconds.
Oh, I got just one more note on just the end. Don't react to it. I want to see a Cage versus Mill match. It'll be my dream come true.
Hell yeah. Credits roll, but we're in Cueto's office. Hold on. Why are we seeing something during the credits? Well, Dario Cueto on the phone. She's found the place. She's really pissed off. We got to do something. I don't think that picked up on the microphone. I made knocking sounds.
No, some of it did, yeah. In your file, it will pick up.
Yes. Dario shouts out, "Go home, show's over." And we hear a voice. "James, I'm sorry. I didn't know he was going to be in this season." "Oh no, we're just getting started." Enter, and I literally said, "Oh no," when I saw the face of Alberto El Patron, formerly known as Alberto Del Rio, also known as one of the more problematic wrestlers of the 2010s. He's at the temple. Alberto is at the temple. This is weird because I know who he is, but you don't know who he is.
I sure don't. I assumed he was not a wrestler because I'm like, well, if this is following Tekken Mortal Kombat stuff, this man is a federal agent investigating the temple.
That would be awesome. You know what? I hope that is his character, because that would actually be very cool if it's a sort of Lei Wulong type.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and so hopefully we get that and we get a little bit more of Montanza. And yeah, Google Alberto El Patron if you really want to know. Not a great guy, but he's not here very long, thankfully.
What was he doing, putting cats in Dominators? Fucking pig.
Truly, yeah, pretty much. A lot of bad things.
No.
No. Yeah, perfect. And on the emergence of this fucking douchebag, no. And James, let's break it down for these beautiful people.
What do you have to plug?
You know me, I'm the Goose VK. You can come over on twitch.tv/GooseVK, hang out, share a laugh, and don't poop your drawers unless you want to.
Hey guys, listen to my music under Marsh, Land, Monster, wherever music is found. Head over to mlmpod.com to find out information about all the other podcasts that I do, like Formulaic, The Height of Horror, Hit It and Crit It, and Mostly Speakin' Sentai. Wherever you're listening to this, you can also listen to those. And oh my God, head over to patreon.com/mlmpod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive podcasts every single Friday. And if you're a $10 patron, you get exclusive monthly content as well as shout outs on every single free feed podcast. So let's begin with those, starting with Steve F.
I'm knocking, but you can't hear it.
Oh, Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour. Alex Z, the Waz. Orion, he's a rapper, D-F-O, Defo. Kayla, aka Two Grapes. Jordan B, the Chaos Witch. My Bickle, my brother in common law, Joshua Jakis. Steve Barnes at Intro Void. He's a musician, but also of Sweet Child of Time and Sweet Child of 1899. Those are podcasts. The womb in which I emerged, my mother. Oh my God, my mother's womb was like a dominator for me because my umbilical cord was wrapped around my neck. She was supposed to hook the leg, not my throat. And finally, Lil Corey's BFF and roommate, Shane. I've been James.
I've been Sean.
And this has been Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm just like you, mumbling words, slowing the verses in your sight.
If you got a minute, listen to the wizard of me. Impeccable simply when applied quickly over criminal beats. My divine lines make you reconsider competition with me. Know me, predominantly for supplying tight lyrics and a chronicle leap. And I divide income from both to provide my bros an opportunity to make dough just like me. Residually through musical means, but recently still moving beautiful greens. In a legal degree, I'm living dangerously. I gotta get my money consistently. What I aim to attain doesn't come in the form of a chain or a brand name. My name in the game, affiliated with heavyweights doing the same.
Luke is king when it come to 1-2, son, you fuck you if you hate. Up in this section, lyrical weapons bust you in the face. Lay down, stay down, what you say now that I spray round, leave you face down on the street. Lights fade out and then it's peace.
Decrease the pace and increase the heat, release the hate and just face defeat. There's no need to be near to me unless you are my family. Cause many motherfuckers wanna damage me. I react so smooth yet savagely. The thought of you closing in on me is a definite impossibility.
In hostility, we is calm, it's nothing new. We love to prove that we the bomb. Blow up, show up in your view, we on that dawn shit. Bossed up, flawless outfits pressed up. Leave you stretched out with your chest cut.
In the booth, I'm next up. When I poof, it's the best blunt from the neck up. That's all I gotta use to get you to respect us. Reflect trust, difficult to break up like brick pounds, but our slick sound will reign angelic as a relic from the underground.
The life in the story, legend of a hustler, stripes and glory. Words can't muster any description of it. Fuck the system, y'all can't touch us.
We white hot with major demand like White Rock. A primitive man, he might not ever adapt to the drastic style that I...
Oh, yeah.